The owners don't win by having a lockout. Shutting down your business is not good for anyone, and it's certainly not good for the players. It's certainly not good for the fans. And that's what's most important to us. These words by NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell summarize the NFL lockout in the opinion that most fans have toward a lockout. But no NFL season could mean much more than just boredom on Sundays. In fact, it could hurt an already weakened economy. Although no season would mean no work for the nearly 1,700 players in the league, it would also hurt fans and organizations, the nation's economy, and TV networks. First off, no NFL season would leave millions of fans sitting around the house on Sundays not sure what to do. It would leave hundreds of ticket holders questioning their sanity. It would also mean thousands of dollars gone for organizations that rely on revenue from games. Fans throughout the United States would be left with uncertain times without a season. Sundays would mean little more than going to church and mowing the backyard. Many could resort to tailgating in the front yard, only to be disappointed that there's no NFL season to follow, no games to watch following tailgating. Many might resort to watching last season's games, watching reruns of what happened last year, in hopes that this would help feed their hunger for football. Some might even resort to watching college football. Many organizations and employees who have a direct relationship with the NFL could see a negative result. It could mean no work for the 2,500 game day employees at the Superdome in New Orleans, or the band booster club that sells concessions at Carolina Panthers games. It could mean churches in Tennessee would lose money on ticket sales for parking lot tickets at Tennessee Titans football games. It would mean that countless of hotels in Houston could see a negative impact because of Texans football. James Cochran, an associate professor in economics at Louisiana Tech, says, "You can't really assume the impact is limited to the area around the stadium. You feel the shock everywhere along the way. It might not be the same as the epicenter, but you can feel it." Not only would no NFL season affect fans, organizations, and employees, but also cities. Many people believe the city of Green Bay could not exist without the Packers claiming it as their home. In Foxborough, Massachusetts, revenue from Patriot stadiums helps pay for school buses, school computers, highways, and even fire trucks. Secondly, it is more than just towns losing school buses, for some fear no season could do much damage to our nation's economy, especially in the weakened stage that we find it in. Former Pennsylvania Senator Alan Spector calls for Congress to intervene in the NFL negotiation talks. Edgeworth Economics estimated that no NFL season in 2011 could cost nearly $5 billion in decreased spending at local business levels, jobs, and a major reduction in tax revenue. Senator Spector suggests a last best offer, which would allow both parties to come up with a negotiation, and Congress would choose the most positive of the two that would help both the NFL and the nation's economy. Now, some congressmen have already taken a step in congressional intervention. Representative John Doyers of Michigan has recently introduced a bill that will eliminate the NFL's antitrust exemption. Congressman Doyer says, "At a time when the economy is struggling and the NFL has chosen to lock out its players, it is particularly inappropriate to allow the league to benefit from a special antitrust exemption." Finally, with so many people depending on an NFL season, many have overlooked TV networks and the effect no season could have on them. Even in a weakened economy, last year the NFL saw an increase in viewing. In the 2009 to 2010 season, an NFL game was the #1 primetime show during 8 of the first 9 weeks. The audience size for all NFL games was seen at 17 million per game, the highest coming on Sunday afternoons, with CBS and Fox, where the average was 23.5 million viewers. That's 6% higher than last season alone. Roger Goodell, the NFL commissioner, has acknowledged that a weakened economy may have led to an increase in stronger viewing of the NFL. In fact, when Brett Favre and his new team, the Minnesota Vikings, faced his former team, the Green Bay Packers, the game set cable records at 21.8 million fans tuning in to watch the game. The rematch between the two teams set a record with the largest audience seen since the Academy Awards back in February. But perhaps the best scenario that wraps this up is the fact that the average audience for all NFL televised games this season has doubled the average viewing for all non-NFL related games. This includes top programs on ABC, CBS, NBC, and Fox. The damage that no NFL season could have is almost scary to imagine. With all this to consider, the NFL lockout suddenly becomes so much more critical to the state of every American, whether a fan or not. Fans would lose a favorite American pastime, while non-fans could be affected by an even more weakened national economy, as well as the change in schedule to TV networks. No NFL season could do unimaginable damage to fans and organizations, the national economy, and television networks. Because so much is at stake for a simple game of football, it becomes so critical that the players and the owners work out a deal and get back to doing what the nation loves most, playing football.